Hey, I'm here. Okay, I'm going to bring some more information here for you today that I have, so we can continue on. Okay, because I'm want to lay many foundations so that when I'm done, you've helped me build the puzzle, and we work together, and now you can see how it comes together. Okay. So little by little, I'm bringing more and more to you each time to build on top of what I've already given you, okay? But before we start, I must work out because I need to do that before I can do. It's me, it's my energy, and it vibrates the right frequency that I need to channel. So and from a few videos that I had loaded about the donations for Africa and for the 3 orphanages that I'm in, watch over. I I will continue to play the theme song that I use on those videos for a period of time until I can see some movement happening in the favor of the children of Africa. Okay? Because I want to see this place here find one great whole love for that place over there, or for another place. But specifically, I want Africa, because you cannot find Africa out here anywhere that they tell you or that you see. You have to find Africa in here. That's the only way you're going to find Africa. And find the roots of Africa. You got to find it in here. Yeah. That does not mean because you are any other color. It means what it says. Africa is in your heart. Because you got to know where Africa come from, how it was built, and where it started. You don't know the timeline of Africa yet. Once you know the timeline, you begin to see a lot clearer and see how the people that has incarnated over there and what amount of great suffering they've endured. Nowhere compare to where you are in this country. And though there has been suffering, but their suffering, there's no comparing it. Now, I'm not putting Africa on a higher pedestal than I am America in one sense or form. I am, but one sense or form I'm not. Because when you see the whole, everyone has their part to play, and everyone has played their part, and everyone is playing their part. Why was Africa put in the more suffering timeline that they are in? There's many reasons why, but we won't discuss it right now, right? Unless it comes up while I'm bringing more information to you. Okay, so let me feel the vibrations of movement and sound, so I can bring it in more. Okay, so I begin to channel in more. So because when I am here to speak, even though you're not in front of me, I'm speaking on camera. You are in front of me in my thoughts and in my imagination, and I'm aware that I must bring my energy to a level where when I'm giving it out, that it is able to be received, okay, by all hearing of the ears of hearings, because you don't really hear with these ears, but most people are really working on hearing with them. Yeah, and you don't really see with these 2 eyes, okay? We have to see with what's called the third eye. And if you don't have that third eye open, I suppose you won't be seeing the truth as you need to see. You'll still be blinded by the lie. I want to slow my energy down, when I'm working with some songs, because I know where the energy of the earth attacks my body more when I'm in slow motion, slow mood. Okay, so that means I need to vibrate at that level to move it off of me. Yes, so that would be my theme song that I would like to start off with every video. Why? Because when you hear that song, I hope that it will remind you to donate and that to send energy of love, joy, peace, and fulfillment of all things and abundance of the source to Africa. That's what I want to send to them. And you remember to do some of that as well all the time when you have that moment of time to yourself, because that's what you're going to have to get to in order to get back home out of Rome. You're going to have to bring that's why you're on this lockdown. Trust me, this lockdown ain't about no virus. And don't you even think it is, because it's not. and it never was. Okay? This lockdown is about freeing you up, bringing the freedom of source from the part of being enslaved and in captivity and under the controller's lordship over you as mankind, where you don't have that moment of time to come in and relax for take a load off your feet for a second, long enough to come into your heart and think about life and itself and its wholeness of itself and everything that is going on around you and what is it that you can do to make the difference. And all these things has to become to the heart's surface of defining the whole that is within you and knowing that when you're in that whole, you're in the wholeness of the source of all collectiveness of energy. That means everything is coming in with you and connecting into your heart. Yeah, because you open it up and you're letting it in. But if it's closed off because you can't let yourself in, how you going to let anything else get in there when you can't get in yourself? You're too busy blocking it off so it don't feel the pain. You got two of them. You know what? The solar plexus is the heart, too. It's just, that's the one that gives you the most trouble. Solar plexus, solar mate, soul mate. Yeah, see how it's in there, soul mate. And so, why you are in purgatory is so that you must singe yourself, not sin, but singe yourself, and put off those things, thoughts of energies, which is thoughts, which is energies, which does not give you the value of who you are and the greatest of yourself, and give you what you need to come, what you want to come back to yourself, or what you need to come back to yourself, and you don't have time to give to yourself. Neither do any other have, and they can't give it to you because you must get it yourself, and they must get their own. So, you've been under the way of control for so long. It's hard to break free from that subconscious mind, that program. And it was put in such a I want to say smart way, but it's way beyond that. Highly intelligent had their hands in this, okay, outside of humanity. And that's who you serve as your gods, because that's who said they were your gods, and you agreed with them, obviously. Why do your gods had his face covered? What the world? Oh, it was too shiny, huh? If they had the face uncovered, you would have known they were your gods, or you would have maybe just took off and ran, plain and simple. You would have. You would not have accepted that. But it was meant to be. It was meant, and in one way or another. It was something that you must have had to take that rabbit hole trip. Every man had to take it. In one way or another. Why? Because you're all the same. You do not come from anything different than what you are. So, who am I? I'm Lord Shiva. I'm Lord Shiva there. I'm Lord Shiva here. And I have been Lord Shiva in other timelines. It does not change. It stays the same until the change comes within. And then that's when the change happens. So in those other timelines, which Lord Shiva may have done other things which Lord Shiva have done, then it's time that Lord Shiva comes to this time here to take care of everything that has been in the place of Lord Shiva outside of Lord Shiva himself or herself now. You see? And that means whatever it may be. If it's confidence, if it's low self-esteem, if it's feeling sorry for yourself all the time, or if it's, always looking for someone else to hold your hand, be cold. It's everything that keeps you and or whoever you are and keeps me and whoever I am from being me whole, me and me, a wholeness of myself, and not giving out me any energy to any other outside of me to control me. Why don't I have to control myself? Why can't I? Why do you need to control me? Why do you need to tell me when to get up and when not to get up? Why do you need to tell me when to be at church and when not to be at church? Why do I need to be there when you want me to be there? Why do I need to? You got to tell me how to get to church when I need to find my own self. If I have a choice to find myself, why don't I get up and go myself then? Be where I need to be. But because when they put those foundations in there in the spell of the cycles, soul cycles, baloney crap let me tell you something. You have not been built by the hand of a common man. You don't even know a clue how you was structured to come in here, this body, because you've been believing that it was you the whole time, and you felt that God made man. No, because you don't remember when Zeus made man, and they had one to the back and one to the front. Yeah, that's why you were twins, because you had each other's back. You watched for each other. But that happened. And then man rose up against Zeus, and Zeus split him in half. But why did man rose up against Zeus? Why would man do that? Because Zeus you mirror each other. Zeus has done it in his times, rising up against his parent or his father. And then he creates something, and his creation rose up against him. You see? In the chaotic timelines. Darkness. Where there is more heavy, dense matter. And hardly very teeny little light. Is there enough to see your way back home? To find the shine, the little thing that shines in. It's there. Just enough to give you awareness to see it and then follow it out of the darkness that you come. And darkness is only lack of information. And what is information? All the thoughts of source energies of the source coming forth in it, every way that it brings it forth itself inside of in and out, and inside of itself, and every way it can affiliate itself or fixate itself inside of the plan, the computer, however way you want to take it. Because every one of that I just gave you belong to it. But you have always believed that you had such a good God, one who loves you. He just loves me. He'll do anything. He will not do nothing for you. When you had those blessed times, whenever they did happen, it was because your conscious allowed it to manifest in front of you after so many ways of putting that energy out toward the vortex, which is what you have to get it inside of, which is the source. You have to get it inside of the vortex. And the consciousness, you can create everything with your consciousness like that, just by thinking it and speaking it. And then you may have an ancestor that's kind of watches over you and look after you, and they're there. And many times to kind of help guide you, lead you along the way. You have an angel or two, They're always there. You're protected until the day is done, if that ever be. You're always going to have that protection. But that protection is still you, no matter how you look at it. Because each time of bringing forth a creation out of the thoughts, because the thoughts are created by you interacting with one another, one way or the other, in chaotic or in light. And you intercepting the energy of that, and that one even accepting the energy of who you are. And you're exchanging energies. And, and then you become shaped and molded in that likeness of that energy. That's how it happens. That's why you thinking you're doing it in the light of God, but and your God, yeah, and your own God of who you are, of the source energy that brings you forth in every way that you allow it to come forth in. And the thoughts are there to procreate with themselves and bring forth something up out of the nothing that you come forth in. And then you start to form thoughts in there, in that space where it's lack of information, where it's dark and no information has come in yet. But then you begin to bring some in. You begin to, intermingle with other thoughts or energy that comes through, and you receive it, and then you allow it to work inside of your life, and you begin to exercise with it. And whether it's dark or light, either way, you worked in it, and you had to work in the dark because you wouldn't have been able to see the light. So you had to come through the dark, because that's how you was originated to come through first. So in that time where you can finally come to a day where you make a choice on what energy of source thoughts that you wanted to work with, and how so desire that you had, the desire to have certain ones that made you feel good or made you not feel good or made you feel bad or made you, what I'm saying? Because while you was feeling bad, there was a source of energy that needed you to feel bad so it could eat your food, the food that you feel bad from, which is loose. It's called loose. Loose. And you give that out every time you put out an emotion, whether it's in high, happy, or whether it's in sad. Because in the happy, you have another energy of source that will feed off of that, and everything works in collectiveness. Energy gives energy, and if you exchange your energy of the light with something of the darkness not in the light of itself, and you're going to exchange that energy too, and you're going to receive from one another. That's why I don't let people in, because it really seriously makes me sick. Because you don't have a clue what you have in your life, because you're not seeing yourself. But I see what you have in your life, and if I didn't, my energy, I already know you're not at my level, in my thoughts. You're not with me in the same energy that I'm working in, as to rid myself of all the dark energies of lies. Those have been lies. The darkness of the energy source. It's nothing but lies. and I have filtrated those inside of my energy. So I have made the choice to decide that I have the desire, want to be in a higher vibration, and no more in a low. So I had my timelines or whatever. Whoever was in here before me had a lot to go before because she incarnated. I walked in. Big difference. You have something that you need to do when you incarnate in that timeline when you have to come through as a child, a baby. You have something still need to be racked up there. You see, I hadn't come to here, right here. And here's where the game begins. Okay? And so, come with me, my guys. I need you to come closer and allow me to be in touch with you, and as I channel in the thoughts so I can know what to give them. Yes, so, and so you in the yin and yang, because you got to know how you got here. You have not just been here only, you've been in other lives before. Now, and how did you end up in the slave mentality of the slave of the planet? How did you find where you are under the control of others? Where the church think they're not controlling you, but they are. They have all the much over the control over you as they don't have, can muscle up and give to you because they have been put in a spell too, and they think that they are in the light, and they're really doing the thing that is right because they are serving the Yahweh, their God, and they have no clue. Everyone's serving their God. But you're serving on this side of the corner, you serve on that side, you're still serving them. And you're still mirroring each other. Doesn't matter what side you're on. You're mirroring. And if you're both on this side of this corner, you on that side of the corner, you both look at the same, you both look exactly the same. You're just on two different coins. Oh, now you're going to have some interaction, Some war may fall out. And how they get you to agree with you, how they get you to agree with them is putting a veil over your head, like Moses, over their face for one of them, and then tell you a lie. And then, because one of the main rules that has been put on this planet, and definitely this one. Now, I believe it's in every planet because it's universal law. That whatever you did to another, you must give them the information or warn them ahead of time before whatever, or if something was coming in a disaster, and even though you caused it, you still was supposed to give them a warning or give them the information to tell them what you were going to do before you did it. And they did. Yeah, at the time when they invaded on your planet, which I was going to look it up in my phone and find it, when did they 500,000 years ago, I'm thinking. That's when they first invaded in on Earth and your planet. And that was the Anunnaki. Okay? Well, see, now you got to go back and say, well, who was the Anunnaki? When I say something, don't just throw it over in it, Oh, there she's talking about aliens, and there she's talking about aliens. You need to get your head. Come on. My time is very precious. And I have only certain little time to be here. And then I go. My heart is open. And I want to get yours open. Because you are in my heart. And I don't want to see you left behind for your false beliefs and your backdoor believing on whatever been put in your mind and in front of you and tell you that's what's truth. And was it truth? Yeah. It's there always, but so is the lie. And the lie is what's been putting more energy on your planet and giving you more of itself. You've been put more in the lie than you was in the truth, though the truth was there. You're just hidden behind the lie, that's all. And you weren't smart enough to turn the damn coin over. Seriously. You just turn the page on the Bible, and that book, it's only got so many lies in it and so many truths. And you get a little truth, and you think you've got a whole lot when you really don't. And then you keep eating the same thoughts over and over again. You keep repeating the same ways, okay, same lies, and you're not going to go anywhere because it ain't designed to get you nowhere. It never was. It's designed for control and put you in a place where you have to give out your energy in the way that is unto them. And they like you to worship them. Of course they do. Make them be hot-headed, bull-headed, egoish, instead of worshiping yourself. They want you to give it to them. Ain't that a trip? And then put all the big old lies in Don't you be looking at the man in the mirror, because that's your devil, your man in the mirror. Don't pay no attention to that one, because you be worshiping that man and not God. With that shit. You better look in that mirror and begin to worship yourself every day, every moment, and know that you are lovable. And you have it for your own self. And that's all you need, is for you to love you. And your love go for yourself, for your me. And you get to climbing up your ladder. And don't judge nobody, ever. That because you're judging yourself if you do. Yeah, you really are. If you put a judge on any way, and you don't even judge yourself. Because who are you to judge yourself? Because that means you're judging your source, who you are, source. And don't you think source have a plan in mind that what it's given you as the energy to become in the likeness of itself in every way that you have been put forth to, as they say, go out and be fruitful. You see how I can put that in there from the Bible? Because that can fit. And that can be brought into the whole truth of itself, as long as you keep working with it. Don't just hang it on the tree and leave it there. And then you use it once, use it many times you can find. And open it up wide open. So you know that how much there's truth there is in that fruit being fruitful. Not just leaving it on the sideline. And anytime somebody want to make a hole in their life to become, in the whole of itself, the truth of the me, of the who you are, you can do that without having anyone else to tell you. You just go in there. You must pull all those shackles off your heart, whatever you blocked it up with. And you have. Anytime you don't love yourself. And how are you going to give me some love when you don't have nothing to give me? Where are yours coming from if you did get it? Huh? Oh, really? Where are you going to get it from? Empty vessel. And you love me. Yeah. See, and love is not in the words. I can promise you that. It never was. It's a sound. It's an essence, a fragrance. Can you feel it coming out of me? You think I'm hindered to be because? So you gotta jump on board in order to get where you need to go. And when you're in that church, you're only getting spilled vomit, all that. It's not going to give you what you need, because you got to come out of that wholeness of your worshiping and giving your energy out to the other ones who say they're your gods, and being over here with your and knowing how and loving one another on the physical lane, 3D line, 3D plane, and when you working with the subconscious thoughts, which is only built in a certain program, and that's what you exercise with every day. And if you want to take your life into another higher level and become more spiritual and become spirit and all the way into the big, you know, yeah, that energy that totally defines you, who you are. It would define you, because it's got enough of itself in there to turn you and fire you off into a flame, a fire, to bring you into yourself, you know. And that flame of fire has to burn. And you have to you got to get goosebumps on you when you know that you know. Then you got the goosebumps. Whoo, feel it, you know. Got to get goosebumps and deja vu, and begin to look past the blindness of the eye, of the two eyes. I know that you have been here before, and not only once, but now you are here to take the reins, to take your place, to wake up, to start back on the same plane, the road that you were on before you fell into the ocean. And you did, as the Atlanteans and the Lemurians. Look them up. That's where you at, and that's who you are. And you got to come awaken from that plain thinking, plain way of believing that it's just what it is, and it isn't. And that you must get up and go to church and go serve the Lord and Jesus and find my life. Because no, you don't. He already, if it was Jesus, it was Yeshua. I'm not going to put that dumb lie in there, because it's not so. What you think he is isn't. And now you're on the verge of being put into that reality where everything that you think or that you thought was good is actually bad. That put the church in there. And everything that you thought was bad is really good. That's the reality you're coming into. And then you're going to see the covers pulling off of everything that you thought was good. Like your Kroger store over there, your grocery store in Sterling, Illinois. And all around. It's not just in there. It's everywhere. The big groceries, Kroger's. How many sponsors you think that sponsor that name, Kroger's? And when you take the K and you put the K where it's known to go in the history of life, you got something on your hand. You got more than just a Kroger store. It means a lot more than just that. But you can walk in there all day long and still not knowing that you're walking under a spell when you go in there. And you are. But in that time that you've been in it, you haven't been able to do anything about it. And not even now, to this point. As long as you're on this where everything is being changed over, because they're taking them down. If you see all the ones that's closing, Kroger's going to. They ain't gonna be around. They might as well just get their shit, pack it up now. They ain't going. They ain't staying around here. They are done. Done. You hear me? Done. Every one of you. Corporations. All that nasty world they have been putting babies' blood in everywhere and doing every other thing that y'all can find for your wholeness of yourself and your right way of seeing how you want to see things, how you thought it was what it is. And it is that way. It's whatever you believe and whatever you see and however you want to, you still in source. Dark as you can go, you're still source. Does not matter. You're still source. But where does that put you? When you're in that dark. You're in the dark, remember, in the dark. And the only way you're going to get out of there, you're going to have to see the light. But how deep did you go? And how far have you went down that rabbit hole? And the whole time you were traveling that road, the wise ones already know where it's going to lead you to. They know that you are on your road to no return. Because there's only so much blood you can suck without turning into something that you're not. And doing all the other nasty pedophile in life that they have done in many things, in many ways. And what they say, the beat goes on. While they were protecting your children, they were taking your children, protecting them, and for who? From who? How many times you seen the children leave their homes where the parent haven't barely done anything but smoked a little weed around their child that she shouldn't have or he shouldn't have? Excuse the H. What the world have you been smoking in your house, Mr. Policeman? Ass right, and all the rest of you. What are you smoking, huh? What are you drinking? What are you doping on? Oh yeah, we know. Give me a break. All of you have done your wrong and your nasty wrong all and your right of yourself. That's what you call yourself. You're right of yourself. But you are all in the know, okay, the knowing. You were. And now you got to change your ways or you get off this planet. Get you off the planet where you belong and the likeness of who you are. But all the rest of you that drink the blood and look like each other and do other little sacrifices that you do, have each other's wives and husbands, all that craziness. Because what they do is give it to their energy, to their gods. And the same one you serve, it ain't no difference. The only difference that it makes, and let me give it to you straight, is that how much of that you encounter into your life and you take in, which caused you to become a Satanism. So, because, as I said, when you're in purgatory, you first come in here and you have no information. You're in the dark. You're in the dark. So the information you have is very heavy, very dark. It's not, it's just dark matter, dark thoughts, dark matter. It's matter until you form the thoughts. And when you a baby, the parents are forming them for you. You have them from when you first came in. The light is there with you, but you must take the experience. And then you've had to come through amnesia in order to do that. So they use the soul trap to wipe your memory. And as I said, and many times that soul trap was not tricking you. You was tricking yourself in one way. It wasn't meant to draw you in the way it was. But the truth of the matter is, whatever happened, you did it to yourself. And So, so it can get a lot of twists and turns go into that other realm out there. But so, then the thoughts begin to form. They are forming off of whatever energy that is helping you to come online, okay? Whatever that you had a host, a caretaker, parent. They call them parents because they're not your children. They're not you're not their parent, your mother and their father. That's an attachment. Now call it what you want to call it. When you call it out, Mama, are you attached to that? Of course you are. And that's an attachment that will keep you out of the garden that you need to get back in. It'll keep you down somewhere in the valley, who knows? But you won't be in that garden that you've been put out of. That is another story by itself, and not the way it's been written in the Bible. It's a totally different story. However, as you grew in stature, as age 7, whatever, every 7 years you made a change. You have to make do certain things in each 7 years, and then each 7 years a change come by, and so forth and so on. During those times of growing, you have interacted with all kinds of different thoughts. Okay? Now, only in here where you had come in this time, where you're not had to operate with some of the most darkest thoughts, because that was put off in other timelines that you came in, and each time you came in, you release yourself from certain life things that you had grew in stature in, that you took on, and that you mingled your energy with. Your thoughts and their thoughts, and then you forming each other. You forming, okay? You forming yourself in this thoughts. And so, in the times that you kept going, and you come back and you see that you have been doing has not served you, and it has not given you the desires of your heart, and you start looking for that, and every way that you can look for it, and then you start releasing different things that hold you back. And so you coming more out of that dark. That's hell. That's hell. And hell's right on the planet with you. Okay, and then you starting to. But we do have a hell planet. Okay, but it has to. It's a whole. Let's not get there. Okay, but you're here in the hell and you're in the heaven at the same time. Okay, so then you're moving away from all the dark thoughts and that you allowed to work in your life and be a part of, blah, blah, blah. And now that you have become more of a clean beast, or, a clean animal like the ark, now you can be on that second floor, which is in that purgatory, because now you can work yourself there and then begin to find all the things that does not serve you in the greatest of self, and give you the brightest of light, or the truth of source, and you still got lies, so you still got to work some lies on the way. Oh, get them out, and you're in the delusion now, and inside of purgatory, you're in delusion, so it's really, Mercury, you can't really see it all unless you go within. Then you can see it. You got to go within. You got to pull back to yourself. You got to pull your energy back, and you got to slow all the way down, where you're not moving, where you're not up here, but you're here. Like if when you slow down, and you start to meditate, or you just lay back and just start to look up to the clouds, and just look out to the trees, and just look out to the grass and different things. And you at that point, your heart's starting to open up, because you're starting to feel your true parent, which is the earth, and you begin to connect back to the wholeness of yourself, and you're not thinking about anybody and anything, because now you're with you, and now you're not up here. But when you're up here, they are not. It's not good. It's not serving you, because they're gonna go, like this in your head, and it's gonna keep you too busy. So you got to come all the way down, slow all the way. That's why this lockup is part of it. Lockdown, a lot of it is part of it. There's so much to this that's happening here, okay? Because they tearing down and building up at the same time while they tearing down, and there's a lot more going down by next year, and many more people are going to leave the planet too, okay? So now you're halfway in between the hell and the heaven, and you got to keep going to the crossing. You got to get to the Bifrost Bridge and the rainbow. All that's in there. Okay, so you got to begin to know the patterns, know the wave when it comes by. You got to catch it. It's like a it can be very, very elucidant when it starts. You start to see it, but eventually you start taking in more information, because the information you bring in is going to shine the light on it, okay? And then you're going to start seeing it, because you're going to look for it. As it said, seek, and you shall receive. Knock, and you shall open. All that, that's, you can use that. And so, but you're knocking at the door of your heart to find yourself. You're not knocking for Yahweh. You ain't knocking for him, because he had his own place to do what his place is here, and one of them was not putting himself in the place that he was your God, as he was the God, and he's not. And he's no more than the level of who you are. Once you come up from this lower energy and you get into 4D, you're probably face to face, pretty close. Your powers have to come back on. His powers is on, but he's been taken off the planet anyway now, so he's not, as far as I'm aware of, he's not operating in the dark energy of himself. He most likely is yet operating in the light of himself on other timelines or in other energy levels. Thoughts is what you are. Remember, keep thoughts in mind when I say energy, because I'm talking about thoughts, though. And like I say, you never change until you unless you just change. And so you've been had to come into this little bitty smallness of yourself in order to get back to the greatness of yourself. And now and here you find the fine tune of what it is to be a God and to lord over your creation, and you would know how to interact with them, rather than to put them under control and enslave them and do them wrong and bad and all kinds. You know what I'm saying? And so when you become that Ra that you will become, and that time you get in there, you'll begin to create your own creation. You created that now, but you don't know that unless you're aware that you're creating it. And you can be creating it all the time. It's like a magician until you finally get it. You see, and and so um, you're still got gray areas that's in your life that needs to come out of there in order to become more light thoughts, all light completely, all light energy. Like joy is a light energy and it has a dark energy, but it has a light energy. But now then, how much dark is in it? You got to define it. How much light is in it? It's a lot of every bit of a light in there. And if you wanted, you just call it in and say, Joy, I want you to come in with me. Joy, help me. Or Joy, come to me. Joy, will you come and spend time with me and allow me to use your energy? Give me your energy, Joy. And Joy would do that. Bring joy in, and joy will come in and be with you once you tap in with joy, and joy will tap in with you. And so when you're in these energies operations of coming back to yourself, of in your wholeness, and you bringing in information, because that's the only way you're going to see it. You're not going to come awaken out from here in your darkness of yourself and let a light come in and shine the light on the dark. You can't. It's impossible. You must see the light shining on the lie, or where you see the truth at, and the truth stands, and the lie must dissipate. Because the truth is going to stand, no matter what. And there will be no lie with it. After you start putting all the lies away, then the more you lie, you go push away, the more truth you're going to see coming in. You're like, oh, so that really is true. And this was just, oh man, yeah, it's a lie. So that was really happening. Like, oh, what? Are you kidding? Yeah, you're going to see it like that. Systems, they call them. Yeah, systems. So all these systems got to come